Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm Steven from Surface It Decorative Concrete, and today we're going to show you how to grind, stain, and seal a concrete slab like the one right behind me. It's going to be a rustic style look. We're going to be going through some of the processes with grinding, what bits to use, how I do them, and what we're filling our cracks with. So stay tuned. Let's get this one started. So this is what we walked into this morning. We're gonna start out by getting this place cleaned up, getting all the debris out of the 2x4s and the walls over here. That way it's not kicking up in our floor. We're gonna get this place swept. We got a little high crack here. We're gonna be grinding that down. And that's it. Day one, let's get it started. That was pretty nasty. Just a quick little sweep, get everything out of here. Found a couple dead lizards. It's a bird's nest, I guess the usual when you're on a ranch. Next up is we're gonna get everything vacuumed out of all the walls and make sure everything's clean so we got nothing falling on the floor when we're working on it. All right, real quick. Vacuum of choice is our Husqvarna S26 HEPA ready. We got the dustless bag extraction system on this guy. And then one other thing is our hose. We got a copper line hose. So when we're out there vacuuming on the concrete, significantly reduces the amount of static electricity. So I highly recommend that you invest in one of these guys. I have a regular hose, no copper in it, and depending on slabs, certain areas, I'll be vacuuming, absorbing a lot of shocks through my feet. So very important, copper lined hose is gonna save you some trouble. All right. Vacuumed up, I wanted to demonstrate really quick how this dustless bag exchange works. Since I've got all that nasty stuff that we just vacuumed up, before I hook this up to my machine, I want to make sure that we got a clean bag and a clean filter. I take 2 zip ties, a pair of scissors, virtually dustless. Go ahead and pinch that guy. And 1 zip tie on the bottom. One zip tie on the top. Make sure you leave enough room in between them. You get your scissors. Now normally I'd like this bag to fill up a lot more, but since I got a lot of nasty stuff in there, I'm just gonna do this one for demonstration for you guys. Cut the middle. Now you got a dust pancake there. And you're ready to go. Hook up your hose, connect it to your machine. There you have it. All right, so one more pro tip. When you want to clean the filter that's inside of this vacuum, you know, it sounds really funny. The instructions are on the side, right here. See, a lot of people get this wrong, so I'm just gonna go ahead and demonstrate it for you so you can get it right. What you're gonna wanna do is turn on your vacuum. Now it's gonna get loud, but turn on your vacuum, place your plug inside here. That's gonna make a lot of suction inside that chamber. You're gonna hit the release valve on the top 5 times. Turn your machine off, pull your plug, get a little bit more dust down here in the back for cleaning the filter. Here we go. See if we got any more. Not much, because I already did that before I cut the bag. But that is how you properly clean the filter inside the vacuum without having to crack open the top, pull that big thing out. Next thing you know, you're making a big old mess, blowing it around everywhere. And the whole idea is to keep the dust inside the vacuum, so you're not breathing that. So pro tip, hopefully you knew how to do that. If not, now you do. Cheers. One of the benefits of vacuuming up everything first, it kind of gives you a sense of the space that you're working in. So during my vacuuming cleaning, I noticed there's a bunch of pits where walls used to be. I still have some nail heads sticking out. There's a couple lag bolts over here. So before I put my machine on the floor and I hit those with my bits and destroy my bits or jump my machine, I might not even have known that they were there. So anyways, vacuuming first, I get an idea of what I'm working with. I like to use my battery grinder just with a cutoff wheel. Now I'm gonna go through and chop all those nail heads off and get rid of those legs. The lag bolts, the nail heads are cut. I'm gonna walk around, tap those areas with a hammer. So when you nail in a wall with a concrete, it kind of disturbs the concrete. And what happens there is you have like a spalling effect. So I'm gonna go ahead and tap around all those spalls and break out any loose concrete, and then I can get to patching. All right, so here's what I'm talking about with the spalling effect. When they pull these nails out, it disturbs all this concrete. We wanna make sure all that stuff is already chipped up before we start grinding it. So here it is. That's gone. But there you go, that's all you're doing. Just tapping it, getting rid of all the other loose debris. So for instance, what you're gonna do is you're gonna patch it. If you didn't do that, you'd patch it. Come back over to the machine. Machine's gonna disturb it, blow that off, and there goes your patch. So good idea to check that first. Save you a little bit of trouble or going back and repatching those. On this floor, there's a lot of patching, so I'm actually gonna get to that today and let everything set up. I'm gonna drop the machine on it tomorrow. So it's time to patch it up. What I like to use is a product from Westcoat. It's called TC29 Concrete Patch. It's essentially like a non-sanded grout. It's got a really nice gray color to it. You can also grind over this. It will polish up really nicely. So say if you were polishing this floor, you'd be able to run your resin bits over it. It would blend into the floor really nicely, kind of giving that more natural look. So I'm gonna go ahead and get set up, start patching. All right, so quick tip with concrete patching. There's many ways to do it. The way I prefer to do it is to leave the cracks in all the pits kind of natural how they are. A reason, for that TC29 is it's a real thin product. I can get it inside the cracks as they are, the hairline cracks, so on and so forth. I mean, if you shove your thumb in there, you're gonna wanna move on to something different. You always have, you can pre-fill a little bit with sand to kind of bring up that level and then go ahead and add your patch. But one thing I do not like to do, and I see this all the time in the concrete or decorative concrete industry, if you're covering a floor up, like say with an epoxy or a micro topping, that would be okay to take a diamond grinder with a V-blade on it, route out that crack, go ahead and patch it in with, most likely an epoxy product at that point, and then you can come back and grind that thing down smooth. If you're covering the floor up, that would be the preferred method. On a grinded seal or polished floor, we like to leave everything natural. So you don't want to see all these V-blades, running through, spidering through your entire floor. It kind of kills the look of it. So that's the way I do it, is I leave them natural and I go ahead and patch them up. And yes, they will be overfilled even with the TC29. So on my next stage, when I'm running my grinder on the floor, I'm gonna come back and those are gonna be smoothed out and they're gonna look good and they're gonna go through the rest of the bit process. So just a little pro tip, that's the way I like to do it. Grinding seals, polish, do not route out your joints. Patch them in the best you can with TC29 or like. About ready to whip up some patch here. Our TC29, I like mixing just in a 5-quart container. I got a 5-quart container with water. TC29 just mixes with water. Whoa. And you're gonna hear me say this a lot, pre-saturate with water. And the reason we wanna do that is so the concrete isn't drawing all the moisture out of the patch. It's gonna dry too fast, it's not gonna stick as good. So all these little pits and cracks and whatnot around here, I'm gonna go around, give them a little spritz with some water, and then I can go ahead and start my patching. Now you're gonna have to kind of keep doing that as you go. So keep that in mind, otherwise this stuff is gonna dry up on you a little bit too quick and you know, it's not gonna come out as good. In this case, I'm not particularly worried about it because I know I'm gonna have to come back and do pouching again after I grind this floor. It's just so much of it, it's almost impossible to get the first time. And yeah, so that's what we're gonna get started with. One of the cool things about working on a ranch. Wild life. All right guys, this is what all the pouch is looking like, just to kind of give you a sense or a feel for it. Remember right now, I do not have to make this look pretty because I haven't opened up the floor yet. Kind of one of the benefits of patching first. I don't know if you noticed from the time-lapse video, this is a monster crack right here. This thing just kept eating and eating and eating patch. So I decided to let what's in there sit. I'll come back and patch it tomorrow. I'm kind of anticipating at least two more rounds of patching here. So this is the preliminary patch. We'll get the floor cut tomorrow and we'll get another round of patching down. Thanks for watching.